And we are live. Hey everybody, it's Will Middleton coming to you from LifterLMS today, and I'm going to be talking about LifterLMS connecting to Salesforce via the Zapier integration that LifterLMS has. This is available with the free core LifterLMS plugin with the REST API that comes with the core plugin, so any LifterLMS user can leverage this integration and the 7,000 plus integrations that Zapier has. But today we're going to specifically talk about a use case that pertains to when somebody enrolls in a course or membership on your website. We want to enroll them on Salesforce into a campaign. We could create them as a contact. We could start sending them marketing messages within our Salesforce platform. So we're going to talk at a high level today. About 2 weeks ago, I did a demo of Shopify, but I wasn't able to connect it up completely without paying for Shopify. And we'll have a similar situation with Salesforce today. But diving in, I have my LifterLMS WordPress website here, and then this is Salesforce. For anyone who doesn't know, Salesforce is a CRM, so it's going to be a competitor to something like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or Groundhog. It's always good to have a CRM incorporated into your business. I always recommend having one CRM as your dedicated CRM at any given point in time. That's going to be how you mainly manage customer relations. LifterLMS as a platform does have some email functionality, but CRM tools like Salesforce really take it to the next level with what you can do. In addition to the integration with Zapier, you can really go a long way with it. So let's talk about a few use cases that you could use LifterLMS and Salesforce together with Zapier. So what I want to do is create a Zap. And here, if I jump into my Zapier editor, within Zapier, for anyone who hasn't used this before, we can use the AI tool. Oh, that's a crazy zoom. We can use the AI tool to say when X happens, do Y, then Z, and it'll automatically create some stuff for us if you wanted to take a bit of a shortcut with that. But I'm going to get into the manual setup with a little bit of these triggers and actions here. So if I click into my trigger, what we would probably say as our first example is when somebody enrolls in a course in LifterLMS. So we're going to say the LifterLMS beta. That's the one we want to use, the one with the black logo here. LifterLMS, so we're going to say choose an event, and we will say new course enrollment. And then we would continue to connect to LifterLMS. I'll talk about that here in a second. But then when somebody enrolls in a course, we'll want to go over to Salesforce as our action. And we would probably create a contact. Create contact. And then we would probably add an additional step here. Salesforce. Let's add contact to campaign. That's probably what we would do. We could add contact to a campaign. So we say when you enroll in a course on my LifterLMS website, we're going to create you as a contact in Salesforce, and then we're going to add you to a campaign in Salesforce so you start to receive marketing messages pertaining to maybe upsells, coaching offers, or other things that we have to sell through Salesforce. Now, for anyone using LifterLMS and Zapier, I want to run through this once more of how we connect LifterLMS to Zapier. I already have my website connected, but let's see, can I change my connection? Let's see. So if I connect a new account, all right, cool. So what this is going to do is give me a pop-up window. You can't currently see it on screen, but this pop-up window is going to ask for some credentials. Whenever you're using LifterLMS with Zapier, you're going to need some credentials from the back end of your website. And I'll show you real quick where we can get those credentials so that Zapier knows what's going on inside of our LifterLMS website and then can use information for Zaps. For example, enroll in a course, go into Salesforce and start receiving marketing. So we're going to go to LifterLMS settings, REST API. This is where we're going to get these credentials that we'll need in just one moment. I'm going to click add API key. This will be my, I should go down here, connection for Salesforce in Zapier. And this would actually probably be just my connection for Zapier. And then anything that I do inside of Zapier would run through this API. We're going to give it read-write permission. In this case, we're saying when you enroll in a course, do something in Salesforce. So it only needs read permission to read what's going on the website. But sometimes we might say, hey, if somebody's created as a contact within Salesforce, I want to add them to my website and enroll them in a course. In that case, we would need write permission to say, write to the website and add users, add content, edit content. So let's just go ahead and save this. And now that we have clicked on save, what we can do is we see our consumer key and our consumer secret. We're going to need these in just one moment. We're also going to need the URL of my website, which is Young Bar. That's the randomly generated site that I have. So let me change the window I'm sharing real quick, and I'll show you how to connect this. I just want to emphasize how to connect Zapier each time we demo it, just to make it super clear. All right, so this is the pop-up window I see on screen, and because I just created my credentials, you can see if I zoom in, consumer key, consumer secret, and website URL without the slash. That's what I need, base URL. So the WP URL prefix, we don't need to change this, but we do need to add base URL and our 2 consumer keys. So if I go back to my other tab, I'm going to copy my consumer key. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to copy my consumer secret. That's from that screen I was just on. Consumer secret. And then we're going to take the URL of my website without the /. Let's see. No trailing slash at the end. Continue to LifterLMS. This window should close automatically, assuming the connection works. Boom, it worked. All right, so let me reshare. Jump back over here. So we just connected with the 2 keys we see on the bottom of my screen here. Jumping back over to Zapier. It looks like there's a problem with the auth. Let's see. This Young Bar is exactly what I want. Okay, cool. So it's connected now to my LifterLMS website, so it can receive and send data to my LifterLMS website. I'm not going to cover in this tutorial how we connect into the Salesforce API, but you can find information on how to connect to Salesforce. It's actually pretty easy. You just sign into your Salesforce account from Zapier, and then it's connected. So this is an example of a Zap where you can say when someone enrolls in a course in Lifter, add them to my Salesforce and start sending them some emails. We could do a whole lot of other connections, but let's jump back to my Zapier interface and talk about another way that we could do this integration. Because with Zapier and LifterLMS, there's so many powerful things you can do. So jumping into the triggers, let's say this time we wanted to do an action out of Salesforce. So instead of going from LifterLMS into Salesforce, what if we wanted to go from Salesforce into LifterLMS? So if someone was created as a contact within Salesforce, I want to add them to LifterLMS. So we could say when a new contact is created in Salesforce, the action we would do would be with LifterLMS. We would need to create a WordPress user, and then we would need another step, LifterLMS. Let's see here. And we would enroll in a course. So if I were to have, let's say in courses here, a free join the list course. So this is going to be a free course I have for people who join my email list. It's going to be kind of an introduction to my platform or like a lead magnet or something like that. So we want to enroll in a course when people join the list. We choose an account. It's the one I just connected. And then should be able to go to the next step here. Action. We're going to get the user ID from Salesforce. We're going to create a new user, actually create the WordPress user that'll give us the user ID that we then pass into this step for which user. And then the course ID would be the ID found up there in the URL bar. Mine is 4509. So when a user ID from step 2 is created, we're going to give that user ID to step 3, and then we're going to enroll them in course 4509. So those are 2 interesting examples of things you can do with LifterLMS and Zapier and Salesforce to say when someone enrolls in Lifter, put them into Salesforce. When someone signs up on Salesforce, put them into Lifter. You could go either direction with this integration, and we've only explored really 2 functions of both integrations, but both of these integrations have a ton of features, a ton of triggers, and a ton of actions. So you could really mix and match this a lot of different ways. You could, I'm trying to think like what else you might want to do with this thing. I won't demo like all the permutations of things you could do with it, but if we jump back into this, app and event, new contact. So we could say new outbound message. Okay, so that's something. If you were to send a message out of Salesforce, maybe you would want to, I don't know, what would you want to do on your WordPress website from that? You could also say you could probably do when a new, let me jump out of this. Like I want to say when somebody updates a course in Lifter, like a website admin updates a course in Lifter, can we like send people a Salesforce message? Like that would be pretty cool. So if we go to trigger, LifterLMS, so it would be a LifterLMS action. So we would say when a new course is created. Okay, so that's cool. We've had this feature request before where people say, I want to send my students a notification when a new lesson or a new course is created. So you could say new course created, and then we would go to Salesforce. And then we would probably do, can we do send like a campaign or something? No. Could do a custom action too with their API. Update record, make an API request. That's going to be a little more advanced to do an API request, but that might work. I guess you might be able to, looks like all of this is contact based. I was wondering, like, could we send a broadcast automatically when a new course happens? I think what we'd probably do though is add lead to campaign, create attachment. Could we create a campaign? We could probably say when a new course is created, add all of our contacts to a campaign, and then we already have a previously set up campaign that's like new course created is like a campaign we created in Salesforce. Whenever we publish a new course, add all of our contacts to that campaign. We could probably do something like that, so then they'll get notifications when new stuff is created on the website. As you can see, Zapier is just filled with in-depth features that you could spend hours figuring out what you're going to do with it. But that's kind of the demo for this Feature Friday of how you can connect LifterLMS and Salesforce. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or other integrations you want to see via LifterLMS Zapier or other LifterLMS features you want to see in future videos. My name is Will Middleton. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.